In this video, I will demonstrate how to print specimen labels in CCH2. After you've logged into the portal, go to My Profile, Specimen Management, and click on the name of the collection that you're going to be printing labels for. Go to Print Specimen Labels. From here, you can search for the specimen records for which you want to print labels. You can search by entering the scientific name, and then clicking the checkboxes next to the specimens that you want to print labels for. You can search by collector, record number, which is the collector number, catalog number, or perhaps who entered the data, or when that data was entered. Alternatively, when you are uploading data into the portal, you can assign a label project for each specimen record. Let me show you. In the occurrence editor, down in the curation box, there is a text field called Label Project. You can enter the name of the label project into as many specimen records as you want. Then, when you go to print those labels, you can select the name of the label project for all the specimens that you want to print labels for. When you upload batches of data, for example from a CSV file, you can include in that file a column called Label Project that you can then map to the Label Project field. This way you can automatically create label projects and then be able to print all the labels from that project. For more information about this, email the project manager for CCH2. Now I'm going to select the specimens for which I want to print labels. I'm going to print labels for all of the specimens in this label project. Next, we can add any information that we want to be general for all of the labels that we create. For example, I'm just going to type in the name of these fields so that you can see where they show up on the labels. There are many additional options that you can select in these checkboxes. For the first one, print species authors for Infraspecific Taxa, this means that the authorship for the species name, not just the variety, will show up on the scientific name portion of the label. If I select Print Catalog Numbers, both the catalog number or barcode number and the other catalog number, which is usually the accession number, will also be printed on the label. If I check Include Barcode of Catalog Number, a barcode will also be placed on the label. I could also select Include Barcode of Symbiota Identifier. You will not likely use this function. Or I could select Print Only Barcode. This means that a barcode will be printed, but no catalog number will be listed next to that barcode. Next, we can select the label format. We can select whether we want one label per row, or 2 labels per row, or 3 labels per row, or packet labels. I recommend using 2 rows per page. Let's take a look at this. If I select 2 rows per page and then export to doc, these will be exported as a Microsoft Word document. Here's an example. As you can see, the heading prefix goes before whatever the heading midsection is, and we can select this to be country, state, county, family, or blank. Here's the state, as I selected, and then heading suffix, which is right here. So this would be a good way to be able to write Flora of California, for example, or Flora of California, San Luis Obispo County, if I'm just printing labels from San Luis Obispo County. Here we'll see that label footer has also shown up. This might be where you want to put, for example, the name of your herbarium or the name of the project for which this specimen was collected. All the information that was in the occurrence editor is now on this label. At this time, you cannot select which fields are specifically going to show up on the label. This may be different in future updates to the system. What I often do when I'm printing labels is I'll make all of this text smaller. As you'll notice, this is a pretty big label as it is. You can just select all and then decrease the font size once or twice, depending on how big you want the font size to be. If you don't want to include a heading prefix, or a heading suffix, or a heading midsection, you can just leave these all blank select blank for the heading mix section. You can also print without label footers. This made a slightly smaller label. You can export to a CSV. And then you can use mail merge or some other function to be able to create your labels. This takes a little bit of extra time, especially when you can just print them to a Word document. Alternatively, you can print in browser if you don't want to edit anything once you have set the settings. Go over to print, and you should be able to preview what it's going to look like. Notice that the orientation is slightly different than the Word document, so you'll just want to check your print preview before you print anything out. And that's how you print specimen labels in CCH2.